To welcome Mayor of the County, Sylvia Murphy. She'll be addressing the state of the county. So please welcome Ms. Sylvia Murphy.
Some of you I know, some of you I don't. Be kind to me because your reputation precedes you. You're a loved crowd. I've been told that. I'm going to give you some information about the county. It's not exactly a snazzy state of the county, but for all of the PowerPoints sometimes you see with the beautiful lettering and the little pigs that run around with signs on them, this is the state of the county. It all boils down to this one piece of paper. It says it all. What comes in, what goes out, and it better balance. That's it. Every year, the Monroe County budget must balance. That's the law. No deficits, ever. We can't spend what we don't have. The income in this county this year is $414,751,948, almost $500 million. $74.5 million come from ad valorem taxes. $115 million in fund balances spread between 62 different funds. And that's to keep us out of trouble if disaster hits in any one of many directions. It also keeps taxes from taking a very high jump or a very low dip, much as we'd like to dip. The extended penny sales tax brings in approximately $15 million a year. And this is what you voted for in the last referendum. This year, it's $16.5 million, which tells you how good business is in this county this past year for the 2014. Our compensation study is nearing completion and the evaluation for a county merit raise is done. These two things are not related. One has to do with the raise in pay this year based on merit. The other has to do with how we come up with other areas, both private and public, in the pay scale. The road mapping is complete. The County Public Works will prioritize and begin work in both Key Largo and Stock Island simultaneously. It seems that Key Largo has the worst roads, but Stock Island has the worst drainage. Both are very expensive, but I thought it would be the opposite. There will be a joint meeting with the City of Key West on March the 12th, 2 p.m., Harvey Government Center. The subject is the homeless shelter. When, where, how, etc. And that is the only subject on the agenda. We're not going to solve a homeless problem. We're going to solve, I hope, the shelter problem. Should be a barrel of fun. And Ronnie will be there. As will Rick Ramsey, 6 city commissioners and the mayor, and 5 county commissioners. Okay, much work is being done by FDOT at our request. That is bicycle, pedestrian paths, bridge, underpasses, etc. This is not road work. These are the extras that make life worth living or worth bicycling. And now odds and ends. Rowell's Marina, Rowell's actually now named Waterfront Park, it's not a marina anymore, is ours. What we do with it can wait for the future. It's there. There's enough income to cover the taxes and some left over. So we're in no rush to develop it. 7 Mile Bridge is in negotiation with both FDOT and Marathon. Higgs Beach is ongoing per the master plan. Bernstein Park, the little forgotten park on Stock Island, is going to be fixed. It's going to be raised 2 or 3 feet to the tune of about $3 million as best we can estimate. I have a question I want you to think about before this all takes place. Should there be a deputy living on premises? It's a question. Some say yes, some say no. Give it a thought, because there will be public meetings on this subject. The PK courthouse is going to be rebuilt, and we must save Judge Tony's tree. It's that, or I think I go to jail, I'm not sure. Marine Resources pump out has finally reached the quota, 1,300 month of December. Development is going on all over. The Triangle here, hotels are being redone in Marathon, and K-Club's properties are being sold and redone, remodeled, whatever, on the Upper Keys. So the necessary and the good development is happening. Hotel stays are up, restaurants are doing well, the traffic is terrible. That's always a good indication of what's going on. And the license tags are not ours, so they're bringing money with them. The bed tax, of course, with the hotels is way up. And that means more funding is available for events, for capital projects, and for advertising, which is good for all of us. All in all, the county is doing damn good, and I'm proud of us. And now comes the part that you're noted for. Questions?
Are you putting land aside for NASCAR?
There's a half acre just above Marathon.
We'll take it.
Yes.
So is there an effort to cut the mangroves to increase visibility from US 1? I see them trimming mangroves. Is there an effort, or?
I think that's not trimming, Barry, that's chopping. I saw those go down. No, that's to get them out from under the power lines. What you saw, that long line of just cut off trees. And then there are 2 or 3 areas on the bayside that have been cleared. There's a road back there, a little secondary road. That's been cleared, and that is for, I was told 2 months ago what that was for. Federal Regional Sewer.
Only what I'd say, because I'd suggest that if driving up the Keys, it's become a tunnel. And
Yes.
You can't see the water anymore. So part of our trailway
Right.
should be the beauty, and these mangroves they need to be cut. In other words.
They do, but I don't object to it. I just think when they first do it, for about the first, 4 or 5 months, it just looks terrible.
Yeah.
So they're really not trimming them, they're whacking them down. Hopefully, once they've done that and they leaf out and look like maybe an edge, they can keep trimming them without us seeing all those cut branches. That would be nice.
Doesn't John Jones need a park?
It does.
City workers.
With regard to the potential lawsuit that the county and the Aqueduct Authority might be dragged into regarding grinders versus gravity, is there any way for the county to take the high road? And yes, it costs more money initially, but people are so opposed to the grinders that it just seems to pay lawyers to fight a battle just as...
You had to go there, didn't you? You just had to.
Well, it's been on the front page.
It's been on the front page forever. I'm probably a bad one to ask that. Because we spent 5 years, a lot of time, a lot of money, a lot of engineers, a lot of design specialists, designing the Cudjoe Regional project. And at the very last minute, here it comes. We don't want grinders, we want, what do we want? Gravity. We want gravity. If you notice, throughout all of it, I have voted no. I have voted no to changing it. I didn't hear an argument that made me want to change it, and I cannot see taking 5 years worth of work, throwing it down the tube because of 3 or 4 months of grumbling. So, consistently, I voted no, not to do it. And so I'm the wrong one to ask that, Sandy. As far as the lawsuit goes, it's kind of bring it on. That's a big if. Ask the other four. I got outvoted on one of them. So I could get.
Don't say it.
No, she can talk to the other four. Yes, Mike.
Mayor, you had mentioned the work tour with the U.S. Branches Park. Do you know what the time frame is for that?
No, I don't. I really don't. And part of the reason I don't know the time frame, it was in the first phase of the capital projects we wanted to do. You have to understand that in the process of some of those votes that went from grinding to gravity, we've added about $14 million to that project. And that $14 million has to come from somewhere. Okay? I hope it's soon, because that park has been, shall we say, underutilized because of rain and mud and whatever. It's going to be a beautiful park.
Actually, if I may, it's very well utilized. It's just needs some repair. I mean, the last time I was out there with baseball, my son's baseball team, there were 5 other teams on there.
Yeah, it is. It's very well used, but it would be used more and more comfortably if the land is raised where it didn't become a quagmire every time we had, a day of rain.
I agree.
That's it. Oh, okay.
What are the plans for the Hickory House?
So you're gonna serve steak and
The Hickory House is sitting there on a pedestal
With 100 cows?
as the best lesson Monroe County has ever had. Be careful what you wish for, be careful what you spend your money on, and be very careful of what you let people talk you into. That project was not vetted, it was not investigated, it was not researched. There never was parking. The waterfront was never suitable for personal use, shall we say. But here we are. And until we can come close to getting our money back, as far as I'm concerned, it can sit there. Because every time somebody mentions doing something dumb, we can say, or just say HH. Everybody knows what that is.
so far out of it.
If someone wants to come along and buy it and do something with it, it is waterfront. But it will never be a restaurant because there is no parking. Unless the person who owns the land across the street wants to take it. So until that time, it's bought, it's paid for, and there it sits.
Has the marina ever showed any interest in it next door?
Not to my knowledge. And everything that has ever shown an interest is brought to us at an open county commission meeting. So, you want to buy an ex-restaurant head? No more questions?
It could be a tie.
Oh, okay.
I'll defer to my senior. Mayor, I heard you on the radio saying that you were trying to determine, or were going to determine the cost of the homeless. Have you completed that study yet?
It really kind of wasn't a study. What we have done is added up the amount of money that the county spends per year for all of the homeless issues, and that includes the nonprofits, the sheriff's part of it, everything that comes out of county tax dollars. And then we're doing the same with the city of Key West. We need to get a handle on that. But the first thing we need to do, you can't solve any of the problem. I don't care how much money you throw at it, until you have a place for them to go if you don't want them sleeping all over Key West. And that's the question of the moment, is to where are we going to put Hobbs? If it even remains with that name, but where are we going to put it? Yes.
Madam Mayor, first of all, I spent a lot of time on Stock Island, so
grateful for the money being spent on the park, because it really is utilized a lot by the people there, and the drainage is horrible. The Hickory House, if that is acquired by the next door neighbor, the county began an ordinance preventing access to the waterfront from being cut off. Under law, if you have property on both sides of the street, you can petition and
You're talking a road abandonment?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now continue your question.
Yeah, that's it. If that happens, if there were a sale like that, would the owner be able to abandon that road and claim that property?
Sir, the only person, don't say no. The only person I can speak for is me. The end of that road is not open water. It has had mangroves growing in there for probably 30 years, 40 years, I don't know. It is thick. It's probably 20, 30 feet deep in mangroves. You know, good luck getting those cut. That was the end of the road, and at one time it looks like there's big humps of cement in there where it was a boat ramp. Many, many, many years ago. But as far as I'm concerned, if somebody owned both halves of that property, on both sides of the road, I don't know why we couldn't abandon it. Because the law says we cannot abandon a road that ends in open water.
So you'd be in favor of abandoning that property?
I would. But I'm one vote out of 4, remember that. To every opinion I give you, I'm one vote out of 4. Do you have a question, sir? Oh, okay.
Anybody else? No?
Thank you